Thanks very much, Elvis. Yes, well, we're here at Leadrex 2015, and the purpose of this gathering is really to get entrepreneurs, professionals and executives to come into one place and meet and exchange ideas. There's a lot of offering here. We've got academic institutions who are offering tertiary courses for people who want to self-develop. You've got coaches, about 20 coaches whose offering is actually normally quite expensive, giving free coaching sessions to people who want to better find out what it is they want to achieve in terms of strategy and implementation and so on and so forth. And then you've got master classes. You've got experienced executives who are saying how they've gone through the ropes of driving success in running organizations and so on and so forth. I've got with me one entrepreneur whose story is really astounding. His name is Miles Kubeka, and he joins me now. Thanks very much for joining us, Miles.
Yeah,
now,
glad
Miles,
to be here.
your story is quite interesting. You saw an ad and then it inspired you to start a business. Tell us about it.
100%. So I saw the Hansa TV ad about Vuyo, the big dreamer, and I thought to myself, what an inspirational advert about a guy who starts off selling Borovos rolls on the side of the road and grows it into a multi-billion rand empire. And I thought maybe it was based on a true story. I thought Vuyo existed. And then I googled only to find out it wasn't based on a true story. I trademarked it and I became Vuyo then on.
Now, you've been doing this for about 3 years,
yeah.
But it wasn't always easy before. You started a business before and
yes.
failed. Tell us about that process.
So, I mean, my background, ironically, is in IT. So I come from a totally different environment to food. And I can tell you for free, doing food is one difficult business. So having come from a different environment and learning how to run a restaurant, I think one of the great assets of not coming from an industry is that you're always willing to learn. And that's what I've enjoyed about my journey so far.
So in terms of your growth so far, from when you started 3 years ago, you know, to what extent has Vuyo's grown, and what are your ambitions going forward?
Well, our greatest ambition is to make South Africans proud of our South African cuisine. Then beyond that is to empower other entrepreneurs like us. And our business model is to find and incubate other entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs within our business, and therefore we can scale our business faster using other entrepreneurs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just tell us a little bit about how you're going about incubating these other entrepreneurs.
So our first core part of our business was restaurants. Again, as I've said, it's about pushing South African food to making South Africans proud of the South African food and then taking it to the rest of the continent. So in so doing, we discovered that the food trucks was the most economical and the fastest way of doing that, because a food truck, if the location is not that great, guess what? It moves. So, and more importantly, the barrier to entry on putting up a food truck is so much less than a normal bricks and mortar store. So that way it's easier for us to empower other guys.
So now, for budding entrepreneurs who are watching, who maybe have failed as you did in the beginning, what would your advice be to them?
I think there's a big negative connotation to failure, and truthfully, in all our failings and learnings, in fact, I think the better word is learnings, right? Is that take those lessons, be smarter about it so that you don't replicate them. But I highly recommend going through the process of actually not doing so well or failing, because I think it builds the chops so that when you're growing and you've got multiple businesses, you've built the stamina that is required to build a business.
And lastly, off camera, we were discussing the fact that there's a massive turnout to this event.
Yes.
There's clearly a massive appetite for the offering that's here.
100%. I think people are looking to take their destiny in their own hands, much like I did when I saw a TV ad, right? And I think I was personally shocked. I thought it would be a small little, it is huge.
Thanks very much, Miles, for your time, and all the best going forward.
Thank you.
That was Miles Kubeka. He's an entrepreneur who founded Vuyo's. It's back to studio.